How's it going, everybody? I'm Eric with 3 Crown Studio, and in this video I'm going to show you 5 reverb tricks that'll take your mix game to a whole new level. So reverb trick number 1 is to put your reverb onto auxiliary tracks as opposed to putting them directly on the source track itself. Now, if I've already lost you and you're not sure what I'm talking about or how to do this, go ahead and click the link above and check out my video on audio buses. There are so many reasons why you'd want to add your reverb to an auxiliary track. When we're working with reverb, the goal is usually to add some sort of ambience to our source track. Now, if you go and take your reverb and put it directly onto your source track itself, you could potentially be changing the way that source track sounds entirely. However, if you put your reverb onto an auxiliary track, not only do you gain so much more control over what you can do with that reverb, as you'll see in the following tricks, but it also leaves our source track intact, meaning that we can add our ambience and reverb to the track without affecting the original sound itself. So reverb trick number 2 is to EQ into your reverb. By placing an EQ before the reverb, it allows us to really tailor and shape the way that reverb sounds, depending on what we want. So for this week's example, we're going to continue using the song that we used last week on how to reamp guitars. This is a song called Don't Wanna Be Here by Lieber, and let's listen to the reverb on the voice without any EQ.
Well, I'm wasted in this bar south of Savannah.
All right, sounds pretty good, but I want to tighten this up and get it to sound a little bit more natural and not quite as overbearing. So as you can see, we've got our reverb with an EQ sitting right before it. I'm going to pull up that EQ, I'm going to start playing the track, and I'm going to begin to cut out some of the frequencies that I don't want.
Well, I'm wasted in this bar south of Savannah. And the sunrise is a few hours away. My idle hands, will they have memories of working in Indiana?
So as you can hear, by placing an EQ before the reverb, we can easily shape that reverb so that it sits right in the mix. So reverb trick number 3 is to automate your reverbs. A really great use of this is to automate your reverb up a little bit during the chorus just to give it some more sense of space and width, and then bring it back down for the verses. Check it out. So here's our verse, and here's going into the chorus. We're going to take the verse section, and we're going to bring that down a little bit so that we have a drier, and then going into the chorus, we're going to have the reverb come up.
That life is 1,000 miles away. I wanna be high on a bus to the middle of nowhere.
So as you can hear, going from the verse into the chorus, we automated the reverb to come up during the chorus section, which made the vocals just sound a little bit larger, wider, and more ambient. This is a great way to create some excitement throughout your mix. Reverb trick number 4 is to sidechain compress your reverb. Now what this means is we're going to put a compressor on our reverb, but we're going to create a sidechain, which means that the original source track, in this case our vocals, is going to trigger the compressor rather than having the reverb trigger it. So while the vocals are happening, the compressor is going to duck that reverb, and when the vocals stop, the reverb is going to open back up again. This is a great way to have ambience on a track, but still maintain some clarity while that track is active. So the first thing we need to do is create a send on our source track. In this case, it's the vocals. So we'll create a send, choose any open bus. We'll use bus 7, and turn that fader all the way up for our send and make it pre-fader. Then next, we're going to put a compressor on the reverb track, and we'll just go ahead and use a stock compressor here. Now in this compressor, we go to the sidechain option and select our sidechain input, which is going to be bus number 7 to match that send that we created. Then we'll engage the side chain, and check this out. When the vocals happen, it's going to compress the reverb, and again, when he stops singing, it's going to open up and let that reverb come through.
My idle hands, will they have memories of working Indiana? That life is 1,000 miles away. I wanna be high on a bus to the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna die.
If you have any questions about sidechain compression, by the way, go ahead and drop me a line in the comments section down below and I'd be happy to walk you through it. Reverb trick number 5 is to pitch shift your reverbs. Now this is a really fun way to create a different type of ambient effect, and it's another example of how we can introduce changes throughout the song to enhance our mix. So I've got a new reverb track set up here called Reverb Pitch, and before the reverb what I've done is put a pitch shifter and pitch shifted it up an octave. So I'll play a little bit of that so you can hear what it sounds like.
That life is 1,000 miles away.
Now it sounds a little bit mousy and ridiculous at the moment, but what we can do with this is we can open up our automation on the source track. We can choose to automate the level of our send to that reverb, and now we have the option to choose when and where this reverb occurs and how much. So let's start by turning our send all the way down so it's not happening. And then we're going to go to the chorus, right on the word where he says hi, and we're going to bring it up.
I wanna be high on a bus to the middle of nowhere.
Let's do it again on this phrase here. Okay, pull that up about the same. Okay, so now we've got this.
Wanna be high on a bus to the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna die, just not today.
So this is a really fun way that you can create a totally different type of reverb effect that you can use within your mixes to create some excitement during different sections of the song. You could do an octave like we did in this example, or you could do harmonies, you could stack a couple of these on top of each other, whatever you want. Play around with it, have some fun, and see what you think. So those are 5 of my favorite reverb tricks, but I'd love to open up a discussion on this one. So in the comments section down below, let me know what are some of your favorite reverb tricks that weren't mentioned in this video. All comments and questions are always welcome. If you like this video, please give me the thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the bell icon so you can receive notifications whenever new videos go live. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.